Hey, what's up, my YouTube fam? I'm back. This is Larry with Invest to Build Your Credit and Wealth. Today, we're going to be talking about how do you remove personal information off your credit report. But first, I want to say thank you for all my new subscribers who coming to the channel. Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate you coming out, watching my videos. Hopefully, these videos are helping you improve whatever you're trying to improve with your credit report. Um, I'm gonna continue to put these videos out, continue to touch on other things. I am gonna start a series on how to build your credit. If it's new credit, if it's you coming back from damaged credit, and how do I rebuild that credit back up so I can get back to that 700 credit score I had before things just went to the left. So, hey, thank you, thank you. Subscribe to the channel. Please hit the bell for notifications. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. If there's any questions you want to answer, I'm always open to answer your questions. My email is in the description. And if you email me and you want to have a personal conversation in the email, I'll shoot you my number. We can set a time, a day, a date, and we'll break it down. I also give free credit analysis. You let me look at your credit report. Usually you got to have Identity IQ, or you can go to my website, pull Identity IQ. Let me look at your credit report. I will break everything down for you for free and tell you what you need to do, what's wrong, what's really hurting your credit score, which you may think is hurting your credit score, but it's not. I give the full one down. It's all free. If you want to repair your own credit, I have a very good master dispute package. That's a lot of information. And even when you get that package, I don't leave you. If you have any questions, you got my contact, and I can help you through the process. So I can help you, or I could give you the information to help yourself. But anyway, let's get into it. I know y'all want to know, how do I remove this personal information? So the first thing we need to talk about is how do the credit bureaus get personal information. It's when you apply for credit. The credit bureaus send that the creditors send that information in to the credit bureaus, and it'll have your address, account number, how much, what if it was a credit card, with your credit limit, if it's an installment loan, what the balance is, any payment, all that stuff is sent to you, which goes on your credit report. The other area where your information is at is on your Lexus account, and also on an accurate report that is from Lexus. But we're just going to talk about Lexus. So both of those places are where your information is at. And a lot of times, the credit bureaus are not going back to the original creditor saying, I need you to verify this information. They're going to Lexus, right? So you have a lot of people out here saying, freeze your Lexus account. I'm different. I believe in going after Lexus because they are reporting, and they fall under the Fair Credit Reporting Act to report accurate information. I go after them to have that removed and dispute those. I've done it with addresses and got them removed. And then when I disputed it with the credit bureaus, it came off a lot faster. I wasn't back sending letters back and forth. It wasn't coming off. Because the credit bureaus, beside TransUnion, are going to go back to Lexus and verify that information. They have to verify it for somewhere, and it has to be verifiable information. So they're going to Lexus to verify that information. Now, I've done a video on this that you can dispute that information on any third party that's housing your information, on the accuracy of it. I don't care if it's check systems, whatever. You can dispute that information off of there, right? So I'm telling you, don't just fight it. A lot of times people go to straight to the credit bureaus, and then they're like, well, my addresses, those old addresses, I'm trying to get them off, and I can't get them off. Yes, it's more difficult because now they're going to Lexus and seeing that same address that you're trying to say is not your address, so they see it on multiple different places. So now it's going to come back. So I've learned, and even I did this when I was working on getting my bankruptcy removed. I went straight to Lexus, and I disputed that information. and got the addresses removed. I didn't, and then once I disputed it and LexisNexis sent me and said those addresses was removed, then I started attacking the credit bureaus and got those addresses removed. Now remember, TransUnion uses LCI. Only Experian and Equifax use TransUnion, right? So, but even though TransUnion use LCI, you still can dispute that information. That's why I'm not a big avid of freezing. It's not complicated, but you got to send off, get it froze. You got to make sure you have your number. You got to call them back, unfreeze it. Why do all that? Just dispute the information. You can get that information because LexisNexis is, I disputed it and got it off pretty fast. So they're not automated, and this is what I learned, they're not automated for disputes like the credit bureaus, right? That's your advantage. The credit bureaus are more automated because they get these disputes in all the time. LexisNexis don't get disputes, so they're not automated like that. Because a lot of people don't dispute with LexisNexis. Dispute that information. Any information on there, if it's damaging, you need to dispute it. So let's talk about some of the things that are on your Lexis account. It's public records, non-public information, which could be current and previous addresses, previous name, such as alias, maiden names, or previous married names, and or telephone numbers. See, people don't realize that now the credit bureaus are getting smart. They are using your telephone numbers to attach to accounts. So you also need to dispute those telephone numbers. People don't talk about that. But if you go look, you can look up LexisNexis and what information they house. And it look in the non-public information section. And it tells you in non-public information, they keep it current, previous addresses, they have an alias names, maiden names, previous married names, or telephone numbers. So dispute those telephone numbers because that telephone number, you may got the address, but now the telephone number is attached to that account because when you filled out that application, you put that telephone number on there. The credit bureaus are getting smart, right? So you got to always be a step above. Right? So I always recommend everyone to get your Lexis account. I know why people don't do it. You'd be surprised the information on there. When I pulled my Lexis account, they mailed it. It was in a package about this thick. It had every address in there. It's when I started applying for credit. There were addresses in there from years ago, over 7 years, right? So, and really, LexisNexis only supposed to be housing information up to 7 years, but they had information on there well beyond 7 years. But because I'm not disputing that information, and I didn't know that I could dispute that information at the time, stuff just wasn't coming off. But when I learned I could dispute that information, I disputed every old address that I was like, I didn't live there. When I was working on my bankruptcy, I had an address that was linked to my bankruptcy. I got that address removed. You got to remember, they're not automated like the credit bureau, so you really can go after them and have them, and they have to have that response in 30 days, just like the credit bureaus. So a lot of times, in my experience, this is my experience, when I've disputed with them, I've gotten it off. Now, I remember the first time I disputed with them, they sent back saying it was verified, but then I sent back a letter saying, what was your method of verification? How did you verify this account? Because this is inaccurate. And when it came back, they just took it off. They couldn't verify it, right? So that's your leverage. So you have to get that information removed off of LexisNexis before you start going at the credit bureaus trying to get that personal information. And remember, your phone number is a part of that personal information. So Take the time, dispute. Don't worry about freezing that account. Why go through that and then dispute it, right? Dispute it. My main thing is nothing saying that the credit bureaus don't have access to that account if you freeze it. Who are the people with not having access if you freeze that account? There's nothing that says if you can find something, hit me back. But I can't find anything that says who is frozen from that account. I've never seen them say, well, the credit bureaus when you freeze account, does not have access to your account. So a lot of people stay there, but not showing proof that that's actually what is happening. So I'm not gonna go on just what people say, and I don't see the proof, right? But I know that based on everything I've seen, like in everything dealing with Nexus Lexus, I don't deal with freezing. I'm gonna go straight after you, and I'm gonna dispute that information to get it off. So I don't need to freeze it, and you can get it off. All right, so take that approach. You can dispute any information, and I've done a video on how to dispute third parties. Right? You can dispute from a third party. The problem with freezing is you can't freeze LCI. So if you're TransUnion, so if you have disassociated the account, just say you got the account removed from Equifax and Experian, but then you didn't dispute TransUnion, you still got that address on your TransUnion credit report, which is linked to an account. That account you're trying to remove off of all your credit bureaus. So for me, go after and dispute each one. LCI, hey, that address is not mine. I'm gonna dispute that. I'm gonna dispute it with Nexus Lexus. I'm gonna get them off. Then I'm gonna go after the credit bureaus and say these this address is not my address, and then I'm gonna dispute the accounts. All right. So, hey, this is. If you have any information, if I wasn't clear on something, or you have any questions about how to remove personal information, let me know. Shoot me an email. My email is in the description, and I'll definitely reach out and help you and walk you through the process. So. Again, if you want to talk, email me. If you want my master dispute package, hey, it's a powerful package. Believe me, this information I talk about is putting in that master dispute package. Tons of information, Metro 2, the credit. Tons of information in there, right, to help you improve your credit, build your credit, and put together really strong dispute letters, right? So if you're interested, let me know, shoot me an email. But I appreciate y'all hanging out. Please subscribe, please share, please like, leave a comment. I really appreciate y'all. Hopefully these videos are giving you solid information to help you out. And that's just what I want to do. I want to continue to help you. So it's a lot of new changes coming with me again. So I will be keeping y'all abreast on that. Some new changes coming up. But anyway, hey, I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. This is Larry with Invest and Build Your Credit and Wealth, and I'm out.